talking to her through the wall while you guys... Lee Cox, we are...
And we're even birthday twins. Mine's Saturday and yours is Sunday. All right, I'll split my cake. I'll give you half my cake. I don't need the whole thing.
I'll give you half of mine, too.
Okay. Okay.
So this is really fun. I'm excited. Actor Studio Series is finally wrapping up.
Yes.
And it's what I think, before we go into the deep dive, Lee, is that Alton Little Theater never stopped because production was going on. I mean, to see Kevin out there with 4-poster and, I mean... A nice bedroom.
And you know the ultimate sin, because of Country Love, the football game starts at 5:30. So I told him he couldn't start his tech dinner until 4. But I offered, cook steak, lobster bisque, the whole thing. And he goes, but I'm going to miss the game. And I said, but you could tape it. Apparently, that was something you never say to somebody who loves football. See, I just didn't get it. I was like, but I'm having filet mignon, and he's like, but I'm missing the football game.
Well, I can just see Kevin now doing it, groveling about it, walking around.
Well, he set up the entire set, and now he has to put it away tonight after they rehearse because we have a show tomorrow.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Oh, and my living room is full of his stuff for 4-poster, just full, but there's no way I'm bringing it in right now.
No.
I don't know where we'd put it.
I'm excited for 4-poster, but
But we have a few things going on before.
We got to talk about some stuff. Actor Studio Series as a whole, has it been pretty productive for you?
Yes, I mean, I knew that it might have a smaller attendance than our main stage shows because people aren't familiar, and people do love rom-coms and musicals, and they want to laugh and escape, particularly in the winter. But I felt this was really important to do, to allow a number of actors to be in this and learn more about acting. And I picked all 3 of these shows for very special reasons. And usually we read a somewhat truthful but fictionalized version. George Brandt actually recorded 200 interviews with these real townspeople. Now, in the circus, were there more than one ballet girl and more than one clown? Of course, right. We don't have the lions, the toothless tiger.
You should have seen me today when they blocked my alley access. I would have been your lion.
You could have done that. But I just felt like it's a beautiful story.
Yeah.
Painful, but beautiful.
Well, and on top of that, it's, to me, and I'm new to this, whenever I decided, let's help out and I'm going to go and let's do this and go through it, I didn't realize how much harder it was to kind of do this, number one, just in general. I mean, this is not an easy feat.
No, you're doing this in a tableau.
Yeah.
You're relating to the audience slightly, looking at the audience. It's made like a documentary.
Yes.
And so you have to know what everybody's doing and where you move. Even the movements. You guys are beautiful up there. You can't appreciate the shifts and how great it looks, particularly because you're identified by your costume because nobody talks to each other. Yeah. They kind of talk about each other once in a while, the clown and the trainer and things like that. But we don't know your name. And it doesn't really matter because you just represent somebody who happened to be there that day, that fateful day.
Well, and another part of it, too, is, in wrestling and all that, where I used to, you have bullet points and you can kind of just ramble for a little bit. And if you're loud enough and you're quick enough, you can keep going. But now it's like, okay, what do I do here? What are my cheat codes? Shay Maples has figured out all of my cheat codes, and I'm in a little bit of trouble here. He goes, did you see him yesterday whenever I slid the note on my crate? He was so mad. And rightfully so, but I'm just so nervous because, Lee, everyone on that stage is really good at what they're doing. And, I mean, you got Josette out there who's just wonderful as a ballet girl. Hal plays the greatest sheriff of all time.
Oh, he does.
I mean, just...
And he's so nice.
He's so nice. I mean, his speech at the end, and I felt so bad. The speech at the end I laughed at during the first 2 rehearsals because I thought, this is so relatable. Like, this is just like what you would see on the news.
You thought you were at a mega conference. Yes.
It was just like, it was amazing. So as I'm doing this, though, and I'm starting to realize, just how the little details really can tell the show. And, this is pretty tough. I'm not going to lie. I did what you said not to do. And I said, who else has done Elephant's Graveyard? Not very many people.
No.
And it's kind of good that way, so you don't get an interpretation of a character and you take it and kind of just mock it or copy it.
Right.
You make your own interpretation, but to do this and really make it like an inside edition or like an actor's studio almost, that's what I like about it. It's just kind of tough.
It is, and I love supporting all the productions. It's very hard as a director because, of course, I found the show, and originally I was going to direct it, and that's The Kiss of Death. Poor Shay. He knows I'm breathing down his neck saying, okay, but I would really have her do this. Put mud on her neck because she's drowning in mud.
And you're watching it from the technical booth.
Yes.
What are your takeaways of it? Because I'm on stage, and it's kind of, it's so wild not to be able to look at the person that's talking to you. That's another thing that I'm learning too. It's straightforward. This is the way it is. But from what
it's close, but you knew even from Monday to Tuesday, you took a big leap, and you will settle in tonight. It will set. It might not be perfect, but every time you will begin to feel it.
Yeah.
You put that costume on, you have your place, and you're thinking about your day, which is boring until you get there.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you get caught up, which I think is so important, CJ, because decent, good people sometimes get caught up in these insurrections and things like that. Things that happen. And they didn't mean to hurt anyone.
No.
And so we need to understand how hard it is to be the lone voice to say, see, I love the preacher. And again, it's because of his faith, but he says, no, I'm not voting to do that. And that takes tremendous courage.
Well, and that's the huge takeaway. Before we go into a little bit of a brief synopsis of it, I mean, it's the snow globe effect of life. And you can, and no matter what side of the coin you're on, it happens to everybody. Whenever you start seeing the train moving, you jump on the moving train.
Yes.
And no pun intended, because it is kind of related to the trains that are going to be
and
utilized.
And everybody's kind of looking out for themselves and just thinking about their piece and not seeing the calamity that could happen as this comes together.
Do you know who I think is so powerful in this is the hungry townsperson, and I always forget her name. Marjorie. She is one of the nicest women I've ever met, and she is so. And the thing that I like about her and just seeing some other folks on the stage is just how reserved they are until they don't have to. And you know what I'm saying, where it's reserved, but whenever that moment means something, we're going full stop. And these monologues that she does are just wonderful.
A lot of actors are actually inherently shy. I was that way. No one believes that. But when you're on stage and you're inhabiting that character, I've done over 200 shows, so I've gotten to be lots and lots of people. But yeah, Marjorie's very accomplished. She performs in St. Louis, and she actually gets paid sometimes. But she loves us, and she's a dear friend. And so she and I are going to do Front Porch. We're going to do the first show in the studio series next February. Yeah, see, I already have next February planned out.
That is really cool. And see, so we're doing this again.
Yes, we are.
Well,
yes.
I think it was, for doing this the first time, and you didn't have a year to promote anything, or it just, you had a couple of months. I think it was successful.
Yes. And we've raised over $500. I don't know on the bottom line because, again, hopefully we'll sell more tickets this weekend, but for 3 local charities.
Yeah.
And that was my goal, that as long as I covered the cost, then we would also help, because every nonprofit in town is hurting.
Big time.
It's just, we're kind of tight here with money and people are worried about things, and goodness knows the electric bill this month went up with all the cold we had and everything. So I'm really happy to do that. And I picked the charities that were kind of aligned with the theme. So for this, it's the Wildlife Center, because of all the good work they do with injured and animals that just even get abandoned and things like that. So I thought that would be a good one.
Well, and circling back to just the performance, the play, the story is really unique. I mean, it's a true story, and George Brandt did all of his research, but this is really about a traveling circus that may or may not have bought an elephant that already had some issues, and you'll see what happens because you want to make money. But what's the synopsis that you could give, that teaser that you can give better than anybody on why people should go to this and what the story's about? Because I don't want to give it away, because I know I'll start reading the script and I'm going to blow it for everybody.
Well, I think you started giving us a little picture of what the smaller circuses that toured the country and what life, everybody dreams about running away with the circus. Not all glory, a lot of hard work. But the small towns in America, which are our backbone, and have such wonderful people in them. But sometimes when people get excited or incited by somebody, then they go along with the flow, and then they spend the rest of their lives grieving. I told you when I visited, people there 100 years later said to me, We weren't here. We had nothing to do with this, but they have rectified. They have committed to raising money for the elephant sanctuary that's in western Tennessee. This is eastern Tennessee where this takes place. And they want people to understand about redemption. And that's what I think this is. There are good people who got caught up in something, they're not at all bad people, but they get caught up in a moment and they don't have the courage to say stop. Yep. Even Josh's character, the trainer, says, I should have said something. And we all do that.
Yep.
We go over in our mind, I want to do it differently today. Okay, do it differently from now on. Speak your truth.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Darla plays an excellent tour manager, by the way. I mean, her
she is the sweetest person, but tough as nails.
Well, the best was yesterday because I have a standing issue, okay? The standing issue is I'm looking at the wrong spot where I'm not supposed to be looking. And this is at the end and everyone's kind of ready to go.
He just almost picked you up and moved you.
Well, the best was before that. Darla goes, CJ, turn. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I'm looking around. She goes, turn that way. And I went, oh, yeah. And then I still turned wrong.
And this is Darla's second show, but she's
so good.
But she's into wrestling, so she has that camaraderie. But I love the first night she put on her costume and Shay yelled at her and said, "You're turning into a girl. Stop it." Because I did want her to have something. I didn't want the audience to think we were pretending she was a guy.
Right.
That she is a female. She's just had to be hard as nails.
I think the best casting call, because everyone in the show is amazing, and I mean that. Everyone's doing really good stuff, and the fact that we only had a limited time to rehearse, and then we had,
And that Shay wasn't at audition, so I actually put most of you in those roles.
I was like the only one that cast or did my casting call was Shay.
Yeah.
But the ringmaster is, I think,
Bradley.
Bradley, the way he looks portrays it perfectly, and I mean that in all positive. But his tone and his cadence, I think, makes the show, because if you don't have a good ringmaster, you aren't going to have a good circus. And I think he really ties in the whole circus town or circus folk together. Because you have a great clown, you have some really great components. I think. What do you think of the clown costume? I love it. I'm in.
I sort of love it, and it is period, and it fits him, which is those are all good things. I had another one that I kind of liked, but it didn't.
Okay.
It didn't fit. But I'll tell you, from a lighting point of view, you have somebody in white satin on stage. It's like whoosh. He has to have a different light because it just is too bright. It bounces off that. But yeah, I love to light Bradley, all 7 feet of him, with that circus hat. People who saw him in 2 rooms will be amazed that it's the same actor, and he has professional things on his thing. He's really good.
Yes, he is.
And studies and does Tai Chi before he gets ready. He's a method actor. Yeah.
What I think's amazing is because, anyone that's from the outside, not in the theater world, never been a part of it, it's kind of nerve-wracking when you go into that setting because you've never been there before and you hear some of the stereotypical things, about, they're going to kind of speak down to you or you're in their world. Not the case. When I walked in, Lee, and I mean this, and I'm not patronizing you, I really felt welcomed. I didn't feel like, oh, I'm holding this up and here's this ding dong that's out here, and and everyone's just respectful. They're nice and they're lovely people, great performers, and we're going to do a good job.
Yes, it's going to be wonderful. And yeah, we have all ages and lots of experience, but I don't even think the audience notes that. I mean, I know because I know the background, but we're very committed. And as I just told you, there are some people there, this is their second or their third show, and you never know that because I personally think Josh is just the most touching character in the show. He just breaks my heart
every time. I mean, because we can all be the role of the person that should have said something before it all started.
Yeah,
and that's and he's just a nice man, and I'm excited.
It drives over an hour and a half.
That's what I think's amazing. The other day, whenever the freezing rain hit, and we were going to rehearse Monday. I thought, well, I'm going to be there regardless because if these folks are driving an hour and a half, the least I can do is drive 3 minutes down the road, or whatever, because we were off here. And all of a sudden I was thinking, you're looking at the email chain and they're like, well, hell with this. No, we can still make it. We can still make it. And it's just the dedication they have to the show is what I think is amazing. And is that what keeps Alton Little Theater going with these performances?
Well, it has. The comeback from COVID was a little slow. We lost so many dear season ticket holders. And it takes a while for people to make that kind of commitment, not just come to one show, but buy a season ticket. But more and more. And I think some theaters have closed in St. Louis, although it seems like it's more active. But people do come because of the work. They want to do good shows. They want to have a director who really knows how to direct and works with them. And so they'll drive an hour. It's amazing. I'd say the average is 45 minutes. If you took you and I, who, are 5 minutes away, and everybody else, it's a commitment.
It really is. And the way my viewpoint of this is just completely shifted because I've always respected what you guys do because anyone that's performed in some capacity knows that there's difficult, facets to it. But this is a whole new ball game.
Yes.
And what I thought was kind of Pam, who was in Red Jasper, who from all accounts was just fantastic.
Yes. And 2 rooms. She had 2 major roles a week apart. Yeah.
I'm going to stop complaining. Well, she was sitting there last night, and, after seeing how well she did, to have her come and give her time to watch this was really cool. And it was kind of nerve-wracking because you're like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, this isn't a regular audience member. This is a pretty darn good performer watching this. And she was just blown away.
And Pam is just so kind and so supportive. And
that was good, though. And then to see the initial reaction to the dialogue, especially at the end, it really is powerful. And you got tears running down people's faces because the part for me that's so interesting is it's connecting to the character, but also I think in that moment they connect with their real life, their real life situations, and you kind of go back to that feeling that you had at that situation, and it relays in their character. I don't know. It's just kind of my takeaway. It's that realness to it.
Well, and that's good because you've got to find that part of you. What would happen in this situation? And sometimes we play a character who's very different. And some actors, the nicest people, they love to play the mean guy or the bully or whatever. I personally would have a very hard time with that. I can do a little backbiting or something like that on stage. But it's very hard for me to play a character I detest. And I just know myself well enough that what that would do internally to me would not be good.
Absolutely. And with that, too, I think a bigger takeaway, too, is the work that you guys do in the booth. Because I know that we're still moving here, and we've already been talking for 20 minutes. But the work that you guys have to do to get the lighting cues right, I thought Marjorie was going to throw a bottle at you guys on Tuesday.
Oh, my God. It was so hard because I thought I knew how to fix it, but he'd put that light in every single cue. So I'm going as fast as I can to get all 45 cues. And then now we have it right for her, but it creates an edge line that Hal walks through. And I'm like, just walk quickly. Just put your head down. Just because I can't get it up any further. I mean, we have a fabulous light system.
Yes, you do.
We have 90 instruments. We have moving. We have, everything. But programming them against 44 feet, because you guys are going from set to set, and then different people, most of us are very, very light this time of year, but some people have ruddy complexion, some people have color. And then of course we were going to put Mary over on the side, the projections, and then we switched it. So I had to sort of because the lights will wash out the projections, and I want to make sure that everyone sees the true pictures. We did not manufacture this.
Right.
They actually took black and white photos in town that day.
Well, and it's just seeing that and seeing all the work that goes into it, because when the general public, I don't want to say that, but let's say we're talking to someone in Wisconsin, we say Alton Little Theater, I would assume they'd go, oh, well, that's nice, little performances. This is a full set production. I mean, no matter, even though it's a one-act play, Lee, I mean, it's so impressive to see all these lights going. You got all these microphones everywhere just in case, It's really a testament to all the investments that are made to really provide great shows.
And you had mentioned Country Love, and I know you love Marjorie, and she is one of the best singers who's going to be performing.
She is so wonderful.
I mean, and she sings all kinds of things. She's been in musical after musical, but I had no idea. She's a country girl at heart like I am, and she said, oh, yeah, I'd love to come sing. So
that's awesome.
And Shay's singing too. We got
really.
Oh
yeah. What's he throwing out there?
Well, I suggested all the Garth Brooks songs that I love and Clint Black and some things, and he goes, "I'll think about it." He's like, "I've got some too." I gave him the list of what everybody was singing because again, I don't want two people to sing the same song.
Yeah.
They don't even let you do that on America's Got Talent or any of those shows. But I think it's a great variety of old country and kind of newer country, male and female. And Corinne is probably the youngest. So 20 to maybe close to 60.
Do we got any Charlie Rich being sung?
Not that I know of, but James Cupp has joined us, and he used to do a couple shows with us when he was much younger, and he just loves country, and he said, I love to sing country, so he showed up and auditioned. I'm like, you're in. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, even though the people who come to Country Love, they will get home to watch the Super Bowl because it's at 5:30 and the show is at 2. Just Kevin won't be able to watch the Super Bowl live.
Rub it in. Why don't we do this? Let's take a quick pause. We'll come back. Let's talk more about Country Love, and then we'll wrap up with Elephant's Graveyard again, because you have a chance to see me
for $10.
For $10.
In a really cute outfit.
I look rather dashing, if I say so myself. We'll come back after this.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, Free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
A lot of fun, putting trouble on the run. Man, you find the hole in yon, twisting the night away. Yeah, twisting.
You can twist the night away. Let's kick my Santa Claus over. You can twist the night away. Yeah. Well, the reason...
Put me back in the closet.
The reason is I have to get pallets for my basement downstairs in my house.
Oh, yes.
And because I got the dirt basement, the block, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, I want to take this back. Then it was -4 outside, so I'm like, yeah, you know what? I cleaned the studio.
My Christmas thing is in tubs in the garage. It's not going back up because even the water that came in the garage was freezing.
Well, and then I cleaned for Congresswoman Budzinski because she was coming in, so I wanted to make sure it looked nice. And then I go, well, what do I do with all this stuff? I just throw it behind the desk. We'll get there tomorrow, Well, you guys heard my live read earlier. Best of the Best of Country Love is coming down the pipeline on the 10th and the 11th.
Yes, Saturday night and then Sunday afternoon.
But that Sunday always sells out pretty quick.
Well, I'm hoping, because so many people have told me over the years that Valentine's Day, they just jack up the prices. Yeah. Dinner is so expensive. It's hard to get, reservations. And so particularly for people who maybe don't like to drive at night, we wanted to always do something for our lovely seniors and our supporters. And so I thought, well, we'll do a night show and then we'll do an afternoon show. And I love to cook. And I don't have a family here. My family doesn't live around here. I still send them things, but I love, and everybody loves chocolate, or almost everybody loves chocolate. And
True.
So there used to be a lot of chocolate kind of buffets and things. So I just thought, well, we'll have some champagne, some hot chocolate, lots of chocolate, and some beautiful music.
Yeah.
And we had someone who said that they believe we have some real talent in the area. And so we have 7 people. I might add somebody, but we have a grand prize. And the audience votes, not me. The audience will vote, we'll tabulate it, see who comes in first, second, and then everybody will get some chocolate, some things.
What happens when one of the performers doesn't like the mail-in voting system? That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Well, who wouldn't want to get $500 for singing a couple of songs, even if it's Super Bowl Sunday? They'll be home in time.
It was a rigged voting process.
No, see, that's why I wanted everybody to know it's the audience that votes. I don't vote. We have ballots. You can come in and check them.
Well, I just think this is so cool because we have so many talented performers around here that are really good. And a lot of times it's harder for them to find places to play. And it could be because of the way that, size of audience matters in terms of these facilities. And then, whether or not they want to play at a bar on every Friday night or they want to go actually perform for people that are coming to play or see music and hear it. This is a great opportunity for them. And
I wanted it to be pure music.
Yeah.
Not over amplified and lots of things like that. And people like Lisa Rosenstock, who is in Mamma Mia, lives in Chesterfield. She said, I just want to come and have fun and enjoy myself. Kathy Piercy, who was just in Gentleman's Guide, she lives in St. Charles, but she said, oh, I love country music. I want to come do this. And apparently, when I thought about it, there's not that many musicals. These are people who do musicals.
Gotcha.
There's not that many musicals where it's country. So for people like me who grew up on country music, it's like, oh, you're right. You know, I listen to all CDs and I listen to the radio all the time, but you don't go see many musicals that are country.
No, and what I like about it too is just the fact that they have something to compete for. Now, I think that's so. Now, are you going to have the American Idol lights whenever you announce the winner? Like do.
Well, it's in the foyer. I could do that with those movers, but you know, I think Kevin wants to have his show program because that is his Tech Sunday. He opens up for a poster 5 days later.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. He reminds me daily that he's rehearsing in the foyer now because of the studio series. Sunday, after we strike, he moves in. He will build his set totally on Monday. We've got all the furniture, we got all the props, all the costumes. It's a huge show with just 2 lovely people, but it's a huge show because it goes through 35 years of marriage from like 1890 to 1925. And he built the bed and several of the set pieces, and a couple of the local antique shops have been so generous and so wonderful to us. I needed a 7-foot tall armoire, and I thought, where am I going to find this? Country Meadows had one.
That's awesome.
And they said, if you can move it, we'll load it to you. I mean, it's huge. So we got to wait till we get a little better weather out there. But
I was watching him do a little bit of the rehearsals with Kevin, and I love his formula for this because it's a really cool way to rehearse, and he's really hands-on. And
he's very hands-on. He and I are very similar in the way we direct.
But I liked it because he didn't know I was even watching. I was kind of just going out to, I hate to say it, take a smoke break, and I was steam shovel operator, really playing the part here. And I go out and I listen to this. The chemistry of those 2 performers are there, and we're going to touch on that, I'm sure, in the next week because it's the first Thursday of the month.
Yes.
And
they're both wonderful performers.
Wonderful.
Never knew each other.
You cannot tell that just in in rehearsals. You have a really good chemistry. It's going to turn out well. Shifting back to Elephant's Graveyard, because we have about 8 minutes left. Luis, who is watching the show right now, I'm sorry, I forgot. I told Luis, our sports reporter, I said, 9:40, but I forgot we had because I forgot it was Thursday. Well, Luis, we'll do it Friday. It's all good, man. We'll talk about the Cardinals and all that fun stuff. But Elephant's Graveyard's perfect show to go see.
Yes.
It's an hour long, if that. I mean, it was right around an hour.
Around an hour, yeah.
And it's really an enjoyable thing where you can go and just for an hour take that escape, put the phone away, and really just go back in the past because what I think the show does more than the story, on top of telling the story, not more than, but probably equal to, is really taking you back to that time period. And with the character dialogue, with the way that people got ready for huge days in town.
Oh, and see, growing up in Houma, Louisiana, I totally
Could you really?
know that. Oh, yeah, the church picnics, even anything that was coming down. Any excuse to not have to work or pick wings or do things, you know, like that. So I remember, because I was even younger than Alina's character. I was only in Louisiana until I was 8. And I know this is tough for her because she's done musicals. And she has to like sit there and process all this serious. And there's no other young people in the show, but I think everybody's been really kind to her and everything. So, but that's sometimes hard when you're in the dressing room and everybody knows kind of how to put on makeup and what they're doing, except you're the young one and you don't know how to do it.
Well, I'm telling you what, I think she's done a very good job, and I'm excited for that too. And it's just the reason I really drive this home is, you know, tickets are $10 for this.
Yes.
If I can get 40 of you today to call Michael whenever he gets back to the box office, you know, and really get tickets, you're going to see me make my debut. And honestly, I mean, I hate to give the call to action, but you never know what can happen. You know, number one, so if you want to, I guess, you never know if you have a meltdown, you can find that. But
remember, Marjorie's right in front of you. She will
smack me sideways.
She can smack you sideways. You don't want to mess with her.
So, I mean, but you never know. The biggest call to action really is this is an hour-long performance. It's $10, and you get a really unique show that you aren't going to see anywhere else. And no one else has done this. I tried to find it because I did what Lee Cox told me not to do, and that was to go ahead and Google it to see who else has done the show, because I couldn't connect with the steam shovel operator at first. There was some disconnect, so I thought, well, maybe I'll see how he's being portrayed.
Right.
Well, that didn't really.
I do it. It's just that I know Kevin's right. When people go on YouTube, then they're imitating.
Yes.
And they think they have to do it that way. And if you're a real actor, you want to find your character that fits you. I mean, we could have had some big old guy be the steam shovel operator. But I liked casting at younger because you were so bored and so stuck, which I think some people are, and they're just stuck in this town. And then all of a sudden, I get the feeling it will change that character's life. You will do something else. You're not going to go back to the same humdrum.
Yeah, and I think you're 100. And the thing that I find so fascinating about this too is just in terms of the circus as a whole and the dialect. It shows really the thought process of the entertainment companies. And I'm not saying that everyone's like this, but it is. I mean, in WWE, when Owen Hart fell from the ring, the show went on, and he died in the ring, and they did the pay-per-view still. And it's the money aspect, and how much do you really want that $8,000 investment in this with it being the elephant? And I think that's a big spotlight too, is really that thought process, because it's never changed decade after decade for these major companies. It's we got to keep moving. And that's time's money, and that elephant in this case is our investment. Yep. And it takes out, I think it really not takes away, but adds to the humanity aspect of it too, where the audience is going to go, this guy is a son of a bitch. I mean, they're going to, because this is an elephant. You're talking about cutting her tusks off and saving what's left.
But he was responsible for feeding 30 people.
Yes. And
all the animals.
And that's what I love about this, because there's always that good and bad aspect of does the bad outweigh the good, or does the good outweigh the negative? And
Bradley really understands that selfish part of us and the survival part. What would you do just to survive if your back was to the wall? Plus, you're right. He's just a beautiful man and such a great ringmaster. You're just excited to see him.
I really want to say this too, because we have a couple of minutes left, and I just to everyone that's on the cast, I mean, really a big thank you, because you guys all welcomed me into open arms. You could have went, okay, get out of here. We'll find somebody else. Just thanks, take your ducktail and walk home. But they weren't. Everyone, seriously, all the way down is giving me
even
tips,
gave you guys the biggest dressing room, because there's more males than females for once.
And it was just nice, though, to be welcomed in and really feel like it's okay. Because yesterday I kind of got stumped a little bit. I was doing great. Like 3/4 of the way through, I was like rocking and rolling. I thought, this is my day. And then I got stuck, and all of a sudden it wasn't like, oh my God, come on, let's go. Yeah. It was, you got this, man. Just take a breath. We're going to get through this together. And I think that's a big testament to Alton Little Theater and why you guys are successful, because if you didn't have that team atmosphere,
we've all been there. And
I just love it.
I love that I was able to do a one-woman show, but I will tell you that when you are the only person on stage for 90 minutes.
No, you weren't.
I was. Yeah, and I'm one of 3 women in the whole 90-year history who has done a one-woman show. So
it's just incredible.
I wouldn't take it on now. But the memory's like not quite that sharp, but it's very empowering.
I bet. Well, so as we have 2 minutes left, Sunday, are tickets still available?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so tickets are available. Friday night at 7:30, you can come in the door and see Elephant's Graveyard for $10.
And then stay for the Q&A, because I think that is really the enrichment.
Are we doing a Q&A?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the whole cast is invited, but not... Your cast is so big, I don't know that everybody will answer, but they may have certain questions for certain people if they really are observing the characters. Like, I think they want to know what would happen to Josette. What would she do? She was so destroyed. And Josh tells us what's going to happen. Yeah, they would maybe wonder what would Bradley do with the circus. Yeah. Some of that.
Well, I just highly encourage you because the reason I say this is because we all are moving at 100,000 miles an hour. It's craziness right now. Campaign season's already started, especially here in the county with primaries and all the nastiness.
And I'm a news junkie on top of being a theater junkie, so yeah.
Yeah,
I'm always listening to something.
So you can get just go at 7:30 or go there at 7:15 because there's going to be an awesome
Freak
I
Show
can't believe we
Deluxe.
almost forgot about that.
I know Thomas is just such a delightful guy, and I met him several months ago at an old Main Street event, but he's deceptive. He can look like just your circus, guy, but he is so intelligent. He had already read the play. He knew the story. He's lived all over the United States. He's just a wonderful guy, raising his family, decided to move here, California, Ohio,
I gotta get him on the show.
Yeah, he's really wonderful. And he does know a lot about the history of the circus and sideshow and the entertainers, and which used to be our movies. So you got to remember, this was before movies.
Right. And you know what I think's amazing? So I'm old now, believe it or not. I actually am getting ready to turn a quarter of a century. But in terms of kids, I'm like ancient. I am just done. I think I didn't even know Snapchat wasn't a thing anymore. I was like, oh, okay. Well, what I think is so funny is I told them, I go, guys, what Nickelodeon's really named after it was the movie pictures. You put a nickel in the thing and you got to... No way. And it's just those things that, I am now old and ancient telling him what the movie pictures were.
Now 10 years defines a generation, not 20. So
You're right.
You're going to feel older and older and older. Trust me. I love that I have 6 granddaughters who kind of keep me current and said, now put this on your phone and then you can follow us and things like that.
Well, all I know is this, Lee. I'm excited. You can help celebrate Lee Cox's birthday on Saturday.
On Saturday.
Mine's on Sunday, so we can have a birthday weekend at Alton Little Theater.
Absolutely.
We'll have some fun. And seriously, from the bottom of my heart, I'm glad you reached out to me to do this because it was a good experience. And even though it was nerve-wracking, I'm finding out more about how to be just, a performer in general, and it helps.
Well, I love that because you really do know a lot more about the theater than just having me come here. You're there. You see the ins and outs of it now and the hard work we do.
And it's really a testament to why you guys have been successful for 90 years and why for the next 90 we are going to hope that we're still successful.
We hope. I'm just getting to 100. If we could just get to the 100th anniversary, because so many theaters have had to shut down. It's been tough, and I feel like I owe that to the ancestors and the people who worked so hard 100%. To start it.
100%. Because there is a lineage with Alton Little Theater. And we're going to hopefully keep that going till 100 and even longer. But it all starts this Friday night at 7:30 and on Saturday at 7:30 and on Sunday at 2 p.m.
Yes, 2.
I nailed it.
But come 15 minutes early and see the Freak Show Deluxe.
And Whatness Elephant's Graveyard. I'm telling you, this is going to be one that you remember. Oh, one last thing. The music component of this, I think, is pretty cool.
And Brant searched far and wide because we were going to have live music. Yeah. And then these songs are not easy, but he found some gems, and I think it's perfect. It sets the tone of the show.
I mean, you guys are really in for a treat, and you can get tickets at altonlittletheater.org. That's altonlittletheater.org, or you can call the box office at 462-3205.
Very good. Very good.
My live reads are paying off. Whenever you talk about the phone number every day of the week, it eventually becomes memorized. 618-462-3205 or altonlittletheater.org, and we'll see you on tomorrow night and Saturday night and Sunday afternoon and in a couple of weeks for Best of the Best Country Love.
Next week. It's the first.
That's how quick everything's...
Yeah, sometimes our last of the month and our first of the month get really close, but I'm glad because we have so much going on.
And we'll see Lee Cox back next Thursday. 4 weeks in a row. And we'll have some more fun then. On that note, it's 10:03. Lee Cox, I'll see you later on this evening.
Okay. I'll see you 6:20.
And I'll be there at 6 with Josh because he's going to help me out even more. Right. Thank you, Josh. 10:04 is the time. We'll come back with Senior Services Plus Speed Connections. We're going to learn about it next.